Today's Q&A is coming from Furman Park, the Ammonite nest that I recently discovered here in Downey. I don't think Ammonites are going to spawn in this corner, but who knows, it might happen. Today I have a lot of Pokemon to evolve, so this Q&A is going to be kind of like a lightning round. I'm going to go fast, I'm going to answer a lot of questions, but I'm going to start with these interesting evolutions, and for these ones I'll answer questions a little bit more in depth. So I have these first 8 are ones that I'm actually excited to evolve, and then another, I don't know, a lot, at least 10 more that I'm just going to go quick through those. So let's just start with Drowsy. You guys know I've been waiting a while for this one, so here it goes. This probably isn't exciting to those of you who live in like Drowsy spawn areas, but this is my second Hypno. I caught one way early on. Shadow Ball is not the move that I wanted, which is kind of disappointing. So maybe one of the many of you who have offered me a Hypno for trade, I might have to take you up on that once trading comes out. The first question is going to be, in principle, is the damage output of a 15 attack, 15 defense, 15 stamina, and a 15-0-0 the same? That refers to IVs. Will there be power-ups in the future for gym battles? So, for the first part, the damage output will be the same. With a 15 attack IV, the Pokemon is going to have the highest possible attack, and that attack stat is going to be the same regardless of what its defense and stamina IVs are. Now, that's damage per second, or damage per attack. Damage over the entire battle will be higher for a Pokemon with a 15 in defense and stamina as well, because that Pokemon is going to survive longer, which means it can use more attacks before it faints, and in the end, it'll deal more damage before fainting. Will there be power-ups in the future for gym battles? I assume that means moves that raise your attack or defense in battle, and right now I can't see Niantic adding too much in the way of status effects or power-ups to battles, because the battle system is super simple right now. We have 2 commands, swipe and tap. So it's possible way down the line that they'll start improving gym battles and adding new features to them, but right now I think it's going to stay tap and swipe for quite a while. The next one I'm going to evolve is this Growlithe. It has 938 CP, it's way stronger than any Growlithe that I've caught before. I caught this at Santa Monica Pier, which is crazy. I feel like I'm cheating just by playing there. Santa Monica. So here we go. Growlithe. And this is going to come out to be a pretty beefy Arcanine. So hopefully I'll finally get an Arcanine with a decent moveset, and I can actually spend some Stardust powering this one up. Bite Fire Blast. But look at that. 2109 with no Stardust used. That's probably my second highest Pokemon now. Bite is actually, it's not bad. It's a fast attack. Fire Blast obviously is the highest DPS fire type move. So I'm not super disappointed. I would have liked Fire Fang because, like you guys know, I like to have Pokemon with 2 moves of the same type, but this I'm not super upset about. I'm actually okay with that. The next question is, we know that Pokemon caught by 2 different players will have the same moveset and IVs. Will the evolution of this same Pokemon have the same moveset too? The answer is no, and what this person is asking is regarding Pokemon that spawn in the same point. That Pokemon is considered the same Pokemon for everyone who catches it. It has the same moveset, same height and weight, same IVs. But people have tested this plenty of times with their friends. When you evolve a Pokemon that you caught in the same place at the same time, it gets different moves. So that indicates that there's not really anything about that specific Pokemon that's going to determine what its moves are afterwards. There might be things that influence that, like its height and weight might have something to do with it, but there's also something else in play. Is that loud? So it could be like the way the game determines a Pokemon's level. That's based on your trainer level. So it's possible that the moves that a Pokemon gets are somehow determined by a combination of its own data and your data as a player. There's a lot of people doing research on what determines movesets after evolution, so hopefully that's something I can keep up with. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been checking moves before and after evolutions so that I have all that information recorded so that I can go back and check it later. But for now, it seems like there's not really any good way to predict what you're going to get yet. stay tuned. Next evolution is going to be Machop. I don't know. Anyway, I had one that I was ready to evolve with good IVs that I hatched from an egg, and then guess what? Santa Monica happened, and I caught this one. So here we go. There's Machoke. Guess what I forgot? I'm just gonna do that now and pretend that I didn't forget. It's okay, still a lot of evolutions left. Now, let's take this all the way to the champ. Karate Chop, Cross Chop. Awesome. Very satisfied with that, even though it's not the best Snorlax counter, like I've said before. This is the strongest fighting type Pokemon in the game currently. Happy with it. If Niantic were to implement just one change to the game starting tomorrow, what would you want it to be? Honestly, I've talked a lot about how stats need to be fixed and, you know, things are imbalanced in the game, but if I could have one change to the game, I'd want it to be released worldwide, because there are tons of people who still can't play this game. So, honestly, I think getting the game out to the entire world is #1 priority, and then we can start talking about changes. Now, the next Pokemon is Magikarp. Again, thanks to Santa Monica, I have over 400 Magikarp candies, and a decent Magikarp to evolve. Oh, I really hope this one doesn't get Twister. It's Dragon Pulse. It's not Hydro Pump, but it's not Twister either. It's Gyarados with not Twister. Now, the question is, how do you think Niantic will balance gyms to allow new players back in? This is something that definitely needs to be addressed because, like I've said before, you see the same 5 Pokemon in every gym, and the main reason for that is because those are the Pokemon with the highest CP. And when you're putting Pokemon in a gym, all that matters, really, is CP. You want to leave a Pokemon with the highest CP so that you can be higher up in the gym, your Pokemon will stay in the gym longer. And if they want to balance it so that new players can actually participate in gyms, they need to change that. They need to make it so that Pokemon are just in order of whoever placed them there first. That way, it doesn't matter if you have the highest CP or not. You're going to be there. If you got there first, you'll be the first Pokemon in the gym. If you got there 5th, you'll be the 5th Pokemon in the gym. And that way, you're not forced to leave your highest CP Pokemon there. People probably will because it's the smartest thing to do, but that will allow people with lower CP Pokemon to actually participate in gyms. They also need to do something to address the stagnation of gyms, meaning once a gym gets filled up at level 10 and it has Pokemon above 2000 CP from top to bottom, people generally don't bother with that gym. So what I'm seeing now more and more frequently is just level 10 gyms everywhere with really strong Pokemon in them because nobody bothers to take them down. So one, I think there needs to be better rewards for taking down gyms so that there's more of an incentive to actually take down those level 10 gyms rather than just leave them and go look for something else. And two, making battles more fun would do a lot for that. Tap and swipe is only entertaining for so long. Alright, it's getting dark, so we're gonna do the rest of this at home in the light. Back at the lab, lost a few minutes on the egg there, but we're gonna keep moving. I caught this Nidoran, also in Santa Monica. High starting CP, so it's gonna make a pretty strong Nidoqueen. Hopefully I can get a decent moveset on it. Bite, Stone Edge. That's not bad. Again, like Arcanine, Bite is fast. Stone Edge, obviously a very strong move. And at 1669 CP, it's definitely my strongest Nidoqueen. Okay, here's a good question. What can we do about all the clickbait and misinformation surrounding the game? Well, regarding the clickbait, just don't click on it. If you see a legendary in a thumbnail, if you see second generation Pokemon in a thumbnail, if you see anything that you know can't happen in this game right now in a thumbnail, just don't click on it. As far as misinformation goes, always check your sources, always do research for yourself. Don't believe anything that anyone tells you until you research it for yourself. And that includes things that I say too. I've made mistakes on this channel, I've said things that haven't been correct, And, you know, I always try to go back and correct them. But whenever I say something, you will at least know that I've done some research to back it up. But there's always a chance that I could still be wrong. So I encourage you, not just with Pokemon Go, but with everything in life, whenever you learn a piece of information, do some research, find out for yourself whether or not it's valid, and don't just trust anything you hear from anyone. Okay, Oddish. I was walking with this one for quite a while to get some candies, and look, I have 160 now, because I went to Santa Monica and caught a bunch there. Good thing I remembered the lucky egg before I got to this, because Gloom and Vileplume are both going to be new Pokedex entries. Sweet. Its name is still Oddish. Okay. Here we go. Vileplume. I've been waiting a long time for this. As you guys know, I really like grass-type Pokemon, so I'm hoping for another decent Solar Beam user. Acid, Petal Blizzard. Two moves that are not the same type, that don't share any type advantages. 37 candies, I mean really all I have to do is go back to Santa Monica, and I'll stock up quickly again. Do you expect more features to come to Pokemon Go Plus? I don't, and here's why. Right now, Pokemon Go Plus already gives you a small advantage over players who don't have it because it lets you run the app in the background, and that's a huge deal because you're always tracking distance, you're always encountering Pokemon even without your phone screen on and wasting a ton of battery. Now, if they were to add more features like the ability to choose which kind of Pokeball you want to use, or to create a list of Pokemon that you want to ignore and only get notifications for certain Pokemon, it's gonna make it too much of an advantage to have Go Plus. And, you know, obviously you're paying for it, so you should get something out of it, but if it's too much of an advantage, it's just not fair anymore. So I don't expect any new features to come to Pokemon Go Plus, at least not anytime soon. Speaking of Go Plus, I am giving another one away, so check out yesterday's video if you want all the details on that. Link is in the description and up here. Don't click on it yet though, because there's more exciting evolutions to come. Alright, here's the next one, and it's a big one. Squirtle is going all the way to Blastoise. So this will be my first Blastoise, and I'm really excited about that. It's actually the first starter Pokemon that I've evolved all the way. I do have enough candies to evolve Ivysaur to Venusaur right now, but Cassie and I are supposed to go on a Bulbasaur date because I promised her that I would wait until she had enough candies and we would both evolve Ivysaurs at the same time. So you're gonna have to wait for that one. But here's Wartortle, and let's go to Blastoise. Now again, please not Flash Cannon. Bite, Hydro Pump. I keep getting Bite today, but that's cool. Hydro Pump, obviously very good. Bite is fast, Water Gun would have been much better, but I have a Blastoise now. How much time on average do you spend on creative thinking for your videos, or does it just come naturally? It actually comes pretty naturally. I don't spend a whole lot of time planning ahead of time what I'm going to shoot or how I'm going to shoot it. I just kind of do it as I go. Topics I spend a lot of time thinking about, and you can ask Cassie about this. There's some days where I sit here at my desk for a couple hours before I even start shooting because I'm trying to figure out what I should talk about. But as far as the creative part goes, as I'm just out and walking around, I'll see something, I'll see a shot in my mind, and I'll frame it up, and that's just kind of how it goes. It just, I guess it does come naturally. Alright, one last exciting evolution before we get to the lightning round. Tentacool. I finally hatched one that has above 80% IVs. I've been waiting a long time. I have 253 candies. I could have evolved 5 by now, but I've been holding off because I want one with good IVs. And this is it. And this is going to be my Tentacruel, and I hope it doesn't have bad moves. Acid, Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump, good. Acid, benefits from Stab. This one came from Big Bear, so that's a cool bonus. So, overall, not bad. What's its other quick move? I'm not sure. Oh, Poison Jab. That's even better than Acid. But, still. Cool, I finally have a Tentacruel. That's a lot of new Pokemon today. Now here we go, lightning round. I'm just going to start this off quick. Caterpie. Alright, these are just going to be quick questions. Here we go. Have you decided what Android Wear you're going to buy? Not yet. I'm really looking at the Moto 360 Sport. I don't want one with like a leather band or like a metal band, so Moto 360 Sport is at the top of my list right now. Up next, Diglett. Sucker Punch, Mud Bomb. Not good moves at all. Coke or Pepsi? I actually don't drink soda very often, but Coke with Mexican food, Pepsi with Chinese food. Ekans. Bite, Sludge Wave. I don't know, I already have a bunch of Arbok. What does the text Battles Won written on Gym Pokemon mean? It's the number of battles that that Pokemon has ended. So if a trainer beats, like, let's say the first 3 Pokemon and loses on the 4th one, that 4th Pokemon will get credit for 1 battle won. So the number of battles won is the number of battles that have ended at that Pokemon. Goldeen. That's not how you evolve a Pokemon. Peck, Drill Run, doesn't matter, again. I caught a way stronger Seaking than this, again in Santa Monica, like 1400 CP. What's your favorite movie? It's hard to pick a favorite, but I would say Blade Runner, Spirited Away, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Akira. Those are all in my top, I guess that's like top 4. They're all in my top 10, I'll say that much. Okay, Nidoran. I'm actually kind of excited about this because my last 2 Nidokings have the same very bad moveset, so hopefully this will be a little bit better. Poison Jab, Earthquake. Finally, it's not Fury Cutter, Mega Horn. This is the one that I'll probably be powering up now. Are you a fan of any sports? If so, which sport, and who's your favorite team? Can you see that? Probably not. Does that answer the question? Okay, next. Paris. Always cool to get Parasects with Solar Beam. Fury Cutter, Solar Beam. It's not Bug Bite Solar Beam, but I'll take it. Do you think we will always only be able to get region exclusives by flying out of America? Yes. It ruins the exclusivity if you can get them any other way. I know a lot of people complain about that, but honestly, I think that's one of the cooler things about this game. There's no other game where you actually have to travel the world to finish it. Here we go, another Pidgey, another chance at a good Pidgeot. Wing Attack, Air Cutter. Not what I was hoping for. If you don't have regular Pokeballs, will the Go Plus throw a Great / Ultra Ball? No, it will not. It will let you know that you don't have any Pokeballs, and it won't do anything. Poliwag. Poliwhirl. Poliwrath. Mudshot, Hydro Pump. I already have one with that moveset. I think this one's a little bit stronger. What's your favorite food? That's a really hard choice, but I'll tell you my 3 favorite kinds of food. Thai food, Indian food, Mediterranean food. And that's because it's really easy to get good vegetarian options with all 3 of those. Green curry, chana masala, falafel. Actually, there's a lot of Indian food. I couldn't pick one favorite Indian food. Okay, I'm evolving another Psyduck because I still don't have a Water Gun Hydro Pump Golduck. And I still don't have a Water Gun Hydro Pump Golduck. Will you visit Asia, Europe, and Australia to complete your Pokedex? Yes, I will. 2 Rhyhorns, so I'm going to do them back to back, but this one I'm actually excited about. I could have put this in the upfront section, but has really high starting CP, higher level than if I were to hatch it from an egg, so it's going to make for my strongest Rhydon yet, and hopefully it gets a decent moveset. Rock Smash, Stone Edge. 1560, definitely my strongest Rhyhorn. Rock Smash is not the move I wanted. I would have rather had Mud Slap, but I can't complain. 1560 with Stone Edge. How about the other one? This one's not going to be as strong after the evolution. This one has from an egg, so level 20. Mud Slap, Mega Horn. That's the first Rhydon I've gotten with Mega Horn. Is there a release date for the Map Finder update? Meaning the new nearby system that Niantic is beta testing in San Francisco? No, there's not. No release date, no word on when that's going to come to everyone worldwide. Sandshrew, I'm still trying to get a Sandslash with a good moveset. That's not the one. What's your nationality? I get this question a lot, actually. So I'm German, Irish, Filipino. 25, 25, 50. Can you tell? No one can usually tell. I have another good Slowpoke to evolve. I already have a Slowbro with the best offensive moveset. I have a perfect IV Slowbro with a moveset. But this one has like 91% IVs, I think. Water Gun, Ice Beam. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this one. How do you plan your trips? Is it highly active locations or is it random? Seems random. It's pretty random. I actually don't like going to places with a bunch of people just because, I don't know, I've never really liked big crowds. So I'd actually rather go to the middle of nowhere. Like, I really enjoyed playing in the desert, even though I had really bad service and there weren't a lot of Pokemon there. I really enjoyed playing in Big Bear because it's beautiful scenery, so I'd really rather go to places with nice scenery that I can enjoy outside of the game. Because walking up and down the pier in Santa Monica in a big crowd, honestly, is just not that fun for me. So I guess it's not that random. I like nature. Okay, 2 more to go. Another Spearow. Again, I don't know why I'm doing this other than just for the experience, I guess, because Spearow doesn't really have any usable movesets, unfortunately. Peck, Aerial Ace. Again, not great. Totally outclassed by Pidgeot. I don't know. Maybe we'll find some really specific uses for Pokemon like this in the future, but for now... Okay, here's another one I get asked a lot. Could you please show us your tattoos and then explain them? These are the tattoos on the back of my legs. They're from an album cover by a band called The Sound of Animals Fighting, which is a supergroup made up of members of many of my other favorite bands. So I just really liked their music, I liked the album artwork, so I got a piece of it tattooed on my legs. That's the story behind that one. And these, can you see all of them? These are the 8 Pokemon badges from first generation. The badges from the Kanto region. In the games or in the anime, you earn badges for defeating gyms, so it's kind of like a representation of accomplishments. And I got these tattooed as a present to myself when I graduated college, so it's kind of like a representation of that. Finishing college was kind of my equivalent of beating all 8 gyms in Pokemon. And here we go, last evolution, Weedle, all the way to Beedrill. Bugbite, Aerial Ace, boo. Okay, last question is one that I get asked a lot again. Can you show us your Pokedex? Let's take a look. Here it is. Wow. With those evolutions, I've now caught everything that I've seen. So 130 caught, 130 seen. That leaves 12 Pokemon left in my regional Pokedex. So Venusaur, which I do have enough candies to get, Charizard, and there is now a Charmander nest nearby. Farfetch'd, not going to get that without going to Asia. Muck, I can start walking Grimer to do that. Gengar, I'm walking with Haunter right now, so I should be able to do that soon. Hitmonlee, I've actually never seen, which is weird because I've caught a bunch of Hitmonchan. Who's after that? Lickitung. Lickitung I've never seen either. Weezing, I do have Coughing, so I can walk with him. After Tangela is Kangaskhan. Gonna have to go to Australia for that one. Mr. Mime, gonna plan a trip to Europe eventually for that as well. After that is Ditto and Lapras. Ditto, obviously, not in the game yet. Lapras, I've been wanting for a long time. I've been trying for a long time. Hopefully that happens soon. Porygon, still haven't seen one of those, although someone on the Sylph Road just noticed that Porygon seems to be spawning near, like, government buildings, so check that out, try it. Aerodactyl, and then Dragonair and Dragonite. And then after that, it's just legendaries. So 130 out of 145 currently obtainable in the game. That's it for this Q&A, guys. I know it was a lot of short answers, but I had a lot of stuff to evolve, so I had to get through it quickly. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave questions for next week, and I'll see you tomorrow. And the next question I want to answer is it worth it to power up Pokemon with the best defensive moveset, i.e. Vaporeon? And the answer is absolutely yes.